Who does not love waking up to the smell of fresh bread? How about you, Wolfgang?
I love bread. You know, I grew up in Austria where we baked bread all the time, especially on Sundays. We did it in the morning. My mother got up and made this brioche with raisins and everything. And now we are making actually bread all the time at home because we make gluten-free bread.
Yes, which
For my
is big.
children, they feel better. And you know, gluten-free, it's maybe fashionable now, but a lot of athletes use it. You know, I know Novak Djokovic, who is the #1 tennis player in the world. Since he started gluten-free, he said he feels so much better, and he actually became #1. Well, it's not just because of the gluten-free, but he feels better, and I think that's really an important part. And with this bread maker, you can make gluten-free bread. And I have new recipes. I'm going to give them to Marianne, and we're going to post them because we are making a brioche-type gluten-free bread with rice flour and teff flour, and it is amazing.
It is. And the last time Wolfgang and I presented this, it completely sold out. Almost 100 of these have already been spoken for. And if you want the delicious, mouth-watering bread, this is the way you are going to wake up to the smell of fresh bread. And I have to tell you, we have a limited quantity. We anticipate these all selling out. We've only got about 1,200 of these to go around, and that is it. So we've taken $30 off the HSN price. We've got free shipping and handling, 4 flexible payments of $24.99. But whether it's your cakes, your jams, your bread, your pizza dough, Wolfgang, we can do everything.
And it's so easy to operate.
Right?
Exactly. You can put all your mixtures in here, and then put on the timer, and in the morning you wake up to fresh bread. And we all know how complicated yeast doughs are for some people.
Yeah,
if
like
you're not
kneading
them, let them proof the right way and everything. This guy does everything. He kneads it, he proofs it, and he bakes it. I mean, you don't need a baker. You don't need to go do anything. You can make the bread you like with the flours you like. You know, I love a lot of whole grain flours, and we do a lot of gluten-free bread. So now you can do it. And you know, the gluten-free bread in the supermarket is so dry and tasteless. Now I add olives, jalapenos, nuts, or dried fruits like dates are now really good. I add them to it, and it makes delicious bread. Nobody ever in my house said, you know, I want some other bread. I should say hello. Hi, Galila. Good morning. And Alexander and Oliver, I love you. And Byron, I don't know. He's at Cornell. You know, he's probably with the girls all over the place. Yeah.
That's so
and
fun.
Cameron is in Boston. So all my kids are hanging out.
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
watching TV, maybe.
And you know what? And I bet they make, I bet they love homemade fresh bread. And let's show how easy this is to use.
They love to make it. Yeah. You know, because if you make something at home, they get so excited, and a few hours later, they take out a loaf of bread and say, wow, how amazing is that? Let me go around here because, and for this, I have to put on my sexy glasses. I think most of the women called me yesterday and said, I look better with the glasses. I don't know.
Oh,
what
really? You do look quite sexy.
All right, good. But it's not about me, it's about the bread maker, you know. It's a sexy bread maker.
But we're going to watch you with the bread maker, so we like
the thing is in. Okay, so we have the menu here. You can see that, the menu button. So you go menu, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have basic, French, whole wheat, quick, sweet bread, gluten-free bread, rapid bake, dough, jam, cake, sandwich bread, and then you can do it your own style too. So which one are we going to make, Marianne? What you gave me? Gluten-free flour. Okay.
And look, we're using our bowls, so the bowls are perfect. Those are still available as well. So you can store all your ingredients in there for when you're ready to make your fresh bread.
Yeah, you can actually have it just like that, all prepared in advance. So again, nothing comes out, so you don't have to worry. You don't use up all these plastic things, so it's really very easy to go. Now, with the bread maker, you always use the liquid first.
Okay.
So here we have the water. We said we're going to have, it's number 6 gluten-free. Okay, number 6. All right. Put the liquid in here.
And this is a non-stick interior,
It's a non-stick interior, so it won't stick. I put a little butter. If you like, sometimes I also put olive oil in here.
Oh, okay.
1 egg.
Do you use olive oil instead of butter? Or?
Instead of butter, yeah.
Okay, instead of butter.
All right. And then we're going to put the yeast. The yeast came with the flour a little mixed here. Okay. And then here I have gluten-free flour. So this is rice flour. Okay. We'll mix it in here. And then we decide what color you want it. You know, you heard me saying when I roast something or when I bake something, I like it nice and brown. I like the flavor of really cooked bread or a roast, whatever it is. So.
Oh, yeah. Even when he's teaching us how to roast, he always says, roast it like you mean it.
Yeah. So here you have light, medium, dark. So you can see the color here. So you see up here. Light.
I like it dark.
Okay. Okay, so you put dark. Okay, dark. And then you're gonna look the loaf size. It's a big loaf or a small loaf. But we're gonna have a big loaf. So the same thing is at 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds. Okay? It's 2 pounds. So that's it.
And
we put everything in it.
Yeah.
All right.
Then
now,
what do we do? Just close it?
we close it. And now comes the most difficult part. You push the start button.
Oh, gosh, that's rough.
You hold it down.
Yes.
And you can see it starting.
Oh, and there's a little window so I can see
You
what
can
it's
look
doing.
what's going on. All right. So now you put that in the dishwasher, the few things you have. And you can go to the hairdresser or you go to sleep, you take a nap, you go to work, whatever you want to do now, this guy will do everything for you. It will bake it, it will proof it first, and you're going to get the smell of fresh bread.
Yeah, and you think about the one machine that does it all for you. You set it and you forget it. You've got that 13-hour delay as well. So maybe the night before you go to bed, you're going to throw all your ingredients in there, and then you set it on the delay. You set it for the time you want it to go and to make the bread. You wake up to the smell of fresh bread.
Yeah.
You wake up to a loaf. Maybe it's focaccia. Maybe it's pizza dough. Maybe you're going to be doing your jams in here, because you can do jams too, right, Marion?
Yeah,
Yes.
for
Oh my
like
gosh,
pizza
cakes.
dough. You know we are famous for pizza. I don't have to take out my big stand mixer. I just throw that in here and it kneads it to perfection.
Right.
Now you have the little room here when you can put, for example, nuts, raisins in here, which go in afterwards.
Yummy.
You see that? See, you take it out here, and then it will open it up after a time, and that's it.
Oh, so it will dispense.
A little dispenser, yeah.
The
I
fruit
forgot
or
the name,
nuts.
what we should call it. So
Nut dispenser.
now
The
look
nut
at that. Here,
Oh, my. Perfection.
yeah.
Perfection.
All right. You take it out.
Oh, my goodness.
It's
and you
hot.
know what? How many times do you go to the grocery store and have you ever looked at the label for the ingredients and you can't
Exactly.
pronounce half the words on the label because of all the fillers, right, Wolfgang?
Yeah, exactly. You say, what, bread should be have yeast, water, maybe butter or oil, maybe an egg, and the flour, that's it.
Right.
Or it could have only water and flour, and you have a starter, for example. That's the old traditional, old-style French bread making. So it is so simple, but when you get bread from the supermarket, they have 20 ingredients on it. You say, what did they do with them? Well, you know, the bread stays like mushy like that all year long. You can keep it like that, but it does not have the smell of bread. It does not have the flavor of really baked bread. Now this is, look at that. You have the knife here. With our knife, we cut it in slices. And look how nice and soft it is.
So pretty.
Are you kidding me?
See that?
And you know, on the top 12 list of people's foods that they fear making,
Yeah.
bread is way up there on the line.
Yeah.
Not because they can't read the instructions and dump the ingredients in, but it's the whole kneading, rising. But the Breadmaker does all of it. It's so fun when you dump the ingredients
Now,
in and press the button.
I don't know about you out there. For me, I grew up in Europe, and you know, in the morning, we don't have a toaster here, like a fresh slice of bread or a toasted bread is still my favorite,
Yeah,
you know,
mine
with
too.
a little jam on top. Now, with this, you can make your apricot jam, you can make any jam you like, and just spread it out nicely on your bread, and you have a perfect bread. We actually took to school sandwiches with marmalade all the time.
Sure.
Yep.
I mean, when you think about the value of that, and you think about being able to control your own ingredients, if you are trying to do the gluten-free way, you know how costly, how expensive it is to get that type of bread. Now you can make it fresh in the comfort of your own home. You can wake up to it, whether it's sliced bread for sandwiches, whether it's pizza dough, whether it's to make your fresh jams in here, you can do that as well. There are so many different alternatives in this all-in-one machine. You heard Marion. I love that Marion said that. A lot of us are afraid. I've never made bread. Why? Because I don't know about the rise time. I don't know about the ingredients. I don't know about kneading it and mixing it and doing all that. This takes the guesswork out.
I have more people calling me up and say, how long you let it rise? And well, I said, you know, it depends the temperature. You know, if you put it, we have a proofer in the restaurant, so it's always the same. But at home, you don't have a big proof box because it's as big as this ice cream, as this wine refrigerator here. Yeah, so it proves it perfectly. It has the perfect humidity and the perfect temperature. But at home, you don't have that. This machine does it for you, so you don't have to worry about nothing. Now, whole grain bread, you know, I love the flavor, and it's better for you.
So pretty.
Look at that. And you can see how uniform it cooks it.
And it's nice because you have those 3 different crust levels.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it...
So you want it darker, you can have it lighter. I generally, and you know the way I like it is I like it darker. Now, look at that. And it's really like bread from the bakery.
It is.
And you know, one time we were trying to sell our house, and it was a really ugly, ugly, ugly house. And so I was told to make bread, and I didn't have time, so I put the loaf of bread in the bread maker. The whole house smells amazing, and the house sold that day. So
yeah,
stop it, real. It's the smell.
That's what I have to do with my house.
Well, you know, it's kind of like the smell of like cookies. They say cookies. Bread is the same way. There's something about it. And when you think about the art of bread making, you think about the difficulty and the frustration of getting it just perfectly, of the perfect time to rise. This machine has taken all the guesswork out of it. Now, the only thing is we have less than 1,000 now to go around.
All right.
Almost 300 of these have already been spoken for. We anticipate them to fully sell out. This is an opportunity on the free shipping and handling. Plus, you have 4 flexible payments of $24.99. And might I not add as well, extra flex with the HSN credit card on all of Wolf's pieces here that we have for the visit.
You
so
know,
if you have the HSN card, use that.
One of my favorite is pound cake. It is so easy to make. You can make it right in the machine here. This is a chocolate pound cake. All right,
okay,
look at that, still hot. Yeah, oh my God, it is the most amazing thing. I like it as a birthday cake. I slice it, serve it like in Austria. We always serve it with a little whipped cream for coffee.
Setting number 10, which is cake.
Okay, setting number 10, which is cake.
Now,
and
look how fluffy it is. See that?
All the ingredients going all at once, and look what you get. You can do this.
Just the smell of that is amazing. Now,
but you're going to be like a master baker. I mean, this is going to be like, they're going to ask you, where did you get this? Where did you buy it? And then you're going to go, I didn't buy it. I made it.
And you can make it for people to take home because you can put all the ingredients in there, and then you can go and cook. This will bake while you're cooking.
And think about for Christmas gifts. I mean, if you are thinking for a Christmas gift, not only the machine, of course, but I'm saying if you want to buy it for yourself, you always have that holiday extended return policy all the way until January 31st. But then if you want to make gifts to give a loaf of bread, the loaf of any kind of, you know, fancy
You know what?
bread
I use
like
it for birthday cakes, for example. What I do is I make a little whipped cream, put it in the center.
What's it called?
You can tell I don't make bread, Marion, because I'm like trying to think of fancy bread.
Yeah, and then I put a little apricot marmalade. So we have in Austria a cake, a chocolate called Sachertorte, which is very famous from an old hotel in Vienna. And there the chef in the 1900 made it for the emperor. So it's a chocolate cake with apricot filling, and you always serve it with unsweetened whipped cream. So a very traditional thing we have in Austria. Now, if you like, you can put chocolate sauce over it, whatever you like.
And you know what? I do want to mention as well, because I know many of you are still asking about if you wanted shaved the chocolate and do the shaved chocolate or grate chocolate on top. We still have the final quantity remaining on all of the utensils and the garnishing tools. So if you want to ask about this, this is $20. Perfect little accompaniment to go back to the bread maker, because then when you want to do all the little finishings and you want to zest some chocolate over any of the breads or any of the desserts and things like that, you will be able to do that. So final quantity left on that. It's $19.95, I think, is the exact price, but perfect to be able to grate some chocolate over that bread. Oh my gosh, would that not be delicious?
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can make.
Can I have a bite? Can I take a bite?
That's for you.
That's for me? Okay.
Look at that.
Just didn't want to be
I know
rude.
love goes through the stomach.
It does.
I know. My wife tells me always that you cook me a good meal, you might get lucky.
Okay, TMI.
I hope she's not listening. No, keep it here. We're going to make a sandwich.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, look at that.
I can't even begin to tell you how good that is.
How about that?
Oh, my gosh.
cut 2 slices, and that's how the sachertorte is actually made.
That
so
is
you,
decadent.
You cut it into slices, all right? And then you spread a little bit of the orange marmalade on it. Not on the side, on it.
I feel really bad everyone at home can't taste this.
Okay, let me put that away so we can see.
Oh
I know,
God.
so now you don't...
Our producer, Catherine, said, well, they can taste it if they buy it and get it at home and make it, then you'll be able to taste how fabulous
it is. So easy. So now you have it just
you made
like...
a sandwich.
Yeah, it's the sachertorte. That's how they make it in Vienna. And then they put a little chocolate on it and a little chocolate sauce.
Oh, my gosh. You guys, I want you to get this.
And then here you have it. See, it's stuffed with the apricot marmalade. Now you can put raspberry marmalade, whatever you like in the middle, strawberry marmalade. But it's a cake. I mean, it is so delicious. Or if you want, you just eat it plain like it is with your coffee, with your tea. I mean, you can have your girlfriends over for tea and you make the cake. The house will smell like a cake. It's delicious.
I would say a glass of wine. I'm looking at his wine spread. I would have a glass of wine, have a
You know, red wine and chocolate cake goes very well together.
Fantastic. I know you've got some Cabernet Sauvignon. That is really great.
You can get them here too.
You can get that as well on hsn.com. But I have to share with you, I mean, with everybody calling in, we maybe have less than 500 now to go around. Listen, I'm always honest with you guys. This is that one product that I think that when you get it at home, you may be thinking, yes, is it difficult? Am I going to be able to make this delicious bread that Wolfgang is showing us in the studios? Absolutely, yes. The machine does all the labor for you. Many of us think, you know what, we have to go to work every single day, right?
You saw what we did just before.
Yeah.
Get a close-up in here.
Well, this was the beginning of the presentation.
Yeah.
And look at that go.
Yeah.
So I'm not having to stand there and
So you don't have to worry,
right?
and you can see how nice the dough ball is already. So then it will rest it, and then it will knead it a little more. So it does everything for you. So you don't have to worry about nothing. Right. So if that is done, you can go to the hairdresser now. You can go to sleep, whatever you like to do.
But you know, that's what I was saying. Many of us, we wake up in the morning, we go to work. We have to actually do the work, right? It's not like we have someone else do it. If you're lucky, maybe you do, but I don't, right? A lot of us don't. This machine does the labor for you. It does the work for you.
Yeah.
You set it, you forget it, and that is it. It is genius. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's easy to clean. The interior is non-stick, so this pulls out, and then you simply are going to be able to clean this. I think, let's see, is it dishwasher safe or hand wash? I will double check for you, but 2-pound capacity. You get all of the measuring cups, everything coming included right out of the box to make the perfect homemade, delicious tasting bread. Now, we are getting very busy. Many of you watched the full presentation. We've got about a 3-minute clock or sellout here.
Look at that. Again, I make it really nice and dark with a great crust on it. This is a cheddar cheese bread. Great for sandwiches, great for paninis. So I just put chunks of cheddar cheese in here.
We put it in the depositor.
We put it in the capacity here, in the distributor, and that after...
That way it drops them in later in the mixing process so they don't get too small, the pieces.
So like if you put nuts in it, anything like that in, so you don't want them to get all messed up, so you still have nuts in there. Cheese bread. Now you can put...
You had me at cheese bread. I mean, seriously, cheese and bread, I'm good. And a glass of wine, I'm cooked.
This is really warm still.
Oh my gosh, are you
Look at
kidding? Look at that.
Look, this is not like the old bread where it used to come out like a rock, you know, like a brick.
Stale and hard.
Now this is fluffy, delicious bread with a great crust.
And you know, you have to think about too, when you go to the grocery store and you go to the wall of bread, right? And you're looking at the bread, have you ever looked, like I do, I always look at the date to see how long the bread is going to be fresh for or what the date is. And do you ever wonder, how is this bread good for 3 weeks or 4 weeks? Because they filled it with all those preservatives.
Exactly.
They filled it with all those fillers that you can't pronounce or you know that